BN News.
Your home for Hannity each afternoon at 3 p.m. Talk 96.3 and 103.7. Welcome in to News and Views with Tom Lamprecht. The stories you've heard and the ones you need to hear.
Thought Kamala did a great job last night. I was really proud of her.
Joe Biden will not raise taxes. Mr. Vice President, I'm speaking.
Joe Biden has said twice in the debate that he's going to repeal the Trump tax cuts.
Democrats have done nothing.
Dr. Fauci.
In the cold of the fall and the winter, we could have from 300,000 to 400,000 deaths.
The virus is spreading.
Your life, your values, your voice. This is News and Views with Tom Lamprecht on Talk 96.3 and 103.7.
Well, welcome in, Tom Lamprecht and Bennie Harney.
The woman has constipation. she must have chronic constipation. I've never heard someone
Who constantly sounds like she's trying to get a bowel movement going.
Sorry. Constipation woman. We're going to get to the debates. I promise you that. And kudos to Mike Pence.
He hit it out of the park.
He hit it out of the park. We'll get to that. We also are going to be talking to Eric Trump, the president's son. We actually recorded that. I recorded that earlier today. He is in North Carolina. In fact, there's a rally going. Right now, he's probably traveling from Monroe up to the Burlington area. He's probably somewhere on I-85, traveling up there for an event that gets underway at 6:30. But I had a chance to talk to him this morning. I'll play that for you in a little bit. First off, though, oh, by the way, it is political trivia and interesting, notable presidential benchmarks. How's that for a category? We'll play in a little bit. The Cal Cunningham saga continues, however. Cal was doing a fundraiser last night. This is cut 1, Clark. Cal was doing a fundraising last night. And, of course, we've talked about all week about Cal's womanizing. And Cal is just digging his hole deeper. So he's doing a fundraiser last night, and basically he is now trying to blame his womanizing on Tom Tillis.
And because Tom Tillis knows that he is losing and knows that we are winning, he has now resorted to trying to make this campaign about something other than the issues. But we know, I know.
Okay, what do you know?
I think Cal Cunningham made it about something other than the issues.
Yeah, really? I mean, it wasn't Tom Tillis.
No.
Yeah, Tom Tillis didn't bring it up. Maybe a bad choice of words. So Tom Tillis is fighting back, though. This is cut 2. This is Tom Tillis's newest ad, just came out today.
His campaign was one big lie.
Here in North Carolina, the truth still matters.
But it was all hypocrisy.
Cal Cunningham was caught in a sexting scandal
with a woman who is not his wife. The relationship went beyond suggestive text to an intimate encounter at his North Carolina home in July.
The woman he is accused of having an alleged affair with is married to a combat veteran.
The Army Reserve is investigating Democratic candidate for U.S. Senate, Cal Cunningham.
I'm Tom Tillis, and I approve this message.
That works. I mean, the only thing that Tom Tillis says in there is, I'm Tom Tillis and I paid for this ad, or I approve this ad. The rest are people not related to the campaign. There's probably 6-8 different newscasters just reading headlines, and that's all you got to do.
I still like my last line that I came up with. If Cal Cunningham's wife and 2 girlfriends can't trust him, why should North Carolina?
Well, that, and they need to get the veteran, the guy who, his last name is Todd. What was it? Jeremy Todd.
Jeremy Todd.
Yeah. I mean, he came out yesterday and said Cal Cunningham needs to drop out of the race. They need to get that into an ad, and I think that and your little line there, I think it's
do a little swift boat campaign on them like they did Don Kerry, huh?
Yeah. There you go. Yeah, just go get a bunch of veterans. Well, and you know, we'll continue. I mean, between now and Election Day, how many days? 24 days left.
Yep.
This is not going to go away. I mean, as more and more, I mean, this is salacious that even the News and Observer, who obviously hates Tom Tillis, wants to see Cunningham win, or did prior to this anyway. I mean, they're covering it. All the newscasts are covering. All the local TV stations are covering it. So it's not going to go away.
Well, Miss Todd, I think she's admitted those are her texts and all that sort of stuff. Yeah, she seems a little out there. So I'm not counting on this story is completely over as far as the details.
Yeah. No, I agree.
The News Observer, I won't discuss it because it was, but the text in the News Observer today, I don't know if you saw it. I mean, it was, I was surprised they put it in there, but.
It's out there.
Wow.
Donald Trump Jr. Just tweeted, does anyone else find it awfully coincidental that the morning after Mike Pence destroys Kamala Harris in a debate, the debate commission unilaterally changes the format to obviously benefit basement Biden?
And now ABC announced late this afternoon that they're going to offer a town hall to Joe Biden.
I saw that, yeah.
Since Trump is out of the debate.
Although they're trying to say, I don't remember this. They're trying to say back in September they gave Trump a town hall, and so now this is equal time.
George Stephanopoulos.
Did he?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right.
And fact, I remember just thinking how good a job Trump did because.
That's right. Okay. Now you mentioned that.
Yeah, there were some people.
But that was eons ago.
Yeah, there was people obviously in the audience that were, they're saying they're independent, but you know they're not. Right. But that challenged Trump on a few things, and I thought he handled it great.
That is his format. I mean, I really do think so. He has the ability to connect with the average Joe out there, and I mean he does anyway. The average blue collar worker loves Donald Trump, so I think it does benefit him. But as you've heard, they wanted to make it virtual, and Donald Trump said, no, I don't think so. And again, all the squabbling about was Joe wired last time? Is he going to take a drug test? I mean, obviously it's going to be a whole lot easier for his support staff to be feeding him all kinds of information if it's a virtual. Now, I'm sure they would, this commission would have people there monitoring each side, but I don't blame Donald Trump for saying no. If you're not going to stick to your rules, if you're not going to stick to the game plan, then I'm out. By the way, there was some interesting comments related to that from a bunch of different people, just saying that apparently the Commission on Presidential Debates decided to change the format and didn't say anything to the Trump campaign. They just changed that this is what we're going to do and did not discuss it. They told them this is what we're going to do. Now, I don't know that they discussed it with Joe Biden either, but it does seem a little odd that you would just, you've got two presidential candidates and at least the Republican one wasn't, there was no discussion. They were just told how to do it. So last night, getting back to the debate, Mike Pence, as you said earlier, hit it out of the park. I've always liked Mike Pence, but I have to confess I've always felt a little disappointed in Mike Pence. That, was Mike Pence chosen because he was clean cut? Nobody had anything bad to say about him. He wasn't going to try to usurp the president. He was obviously a great supporter of the president. But when he came time for him to make a presentation, he always said, okay, that was fine. It wasn't great, but it was adequate. Last night was not just adequate, it was unbelievable. I mean, he was so well prepared. Just time after time. I'd be sitting there watching the debate thinking, okay, well, I'd say this. Next thing I'm not saying I'm a great debater, but next thing you know, a few seconds later, he'd be going in that direction.
I've always thought Mike Pence was chosen because he was, pretty much the anti-Trump. In terms of
calming effect.
Yeah, a calming effect. His personality is completely different. But last night, one, I knew he would be a gentleman because I think he truly is a gentleman. And I was really a little worried that he would be too much of a gentleman because I knew Harris would be on attack mode. Be on attack mode. But his preparation last night, I guess we shouldn't have been surprised because, like in the height of the COVID press conferences they had every day, he was always so well prepared with what was going on, and you could tell that he was always prepared for that every day, and so I guess we shouldn't have been surprised. But I really did not think he'd do as well as he did.
Yeah, it was immaculate how prepared he was. Even the liberal reporter Michael Tracy, who is a big-time lib, I mean, no fan of Donald Trump's, he just ripped Kamala Harris, just saying it was a train wreck, that it was awful. And he came out and said, and the reason why you have a vice presidential debate, the main reason is, okay, and it was asked last night, neither one of them answered it, but it was asked last night, are you prepared? Well, I guess Mike Pence, they both sort of answered it, but are you prepared to take over as the president? Well, both of them spoke in the affirmative, but it was pretty obvious throughout the entire debate. At the end of the debate, there was one person on that stage that was ready to be president and one person that had no idea what she was doing. Mike Pence could take over tomorrow if he had to. Kamala Harris, not so much. She tried to come off strong. My kids and I, and you and I were texting back and forth, making comments to one another. I was texting half the time and watching half the time. But I texted my kids. I said, there was a reason why Kamala Harris got shellacked in the primaries, and you're witnessing it right now.
Yeah.
She is just not likable.
Yeah, my new nickname for her is 3%, because that's about the most she ever got in the
primaries. Did she ever get that high?
I don't think she did. It might have even been worse than that. But but really, when you think about her performance, it really mirrors their campaign, because their campaign has been about attacking Trump. Trump bad. Trump's a racist. Trump's bad. That's all they're really not focusing on the substance of any issues. So it kind of. The debate was really just attack Donald Trump. And, I got to believe there's still some probably voters out there. People say there's no undecided voters at this. I think there are. And there's going to be some people that finally wake up and realize that, gosh, all they've said is Trump's bad. That's really all they said.
The other thing that they said, and I think I'm pretty much a middle of the road guy. I mean, I'm more political, and I'm not saying I'm savvy. I'm just saying I'm more into it than the average person, I'm sure. But the talking heads at the end of that debate, even on Fox News, were saying, it was sort of boring. It doesn't really mean anything. I thought it was and I watch all the debates. I thought that was the best vice presidential debate I've seen in my life. I thought it was very interesting. It to me went quicker than the presidential debate did. Well, the presidential debate last one was pretty painful, but I really did. I thought he did a masterful job, and I actually thought what you just alluded to is that this could have been a meaningful debate. This could have swung some voters. If a voter was undecided and they watched last night's debate, I'd have a hard time believing that they came away not thinking, well, I need to really look hard at the Trump-Pence ticket.
Well, it's been said before. Obviously, this time vice president means more because you got two really older guys. They'll be the oldest presidents. Both of them will be the oldest presidents 78, ever. Yeah. So if it's ever going to matter, it matters now.
Well, Biden would be older going in if he was elected than Ronald Reagan was coming out.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And remember the big deal they made about Ronald Reagan's age when he went in. The biggest deal was, and it was interesting because when she was giving her history lesson about Abraham Lincoln last night, I looked at that and I said that when she was giving that story, I looked at my wife and I said, you know what? I'm not sure the details of this Abraham Lincoln story. Very good. But when she gave this history lesson, I said to my wife, what do you want to bet that she has screwed up the truth, the facts of this to fit her own narrative? But, of course, she came out and she said, President Lincoln in 1864, he wouldn't nominate a Supreme Court justice because he felt like the people needed to vote. The truth of the matter is he didn't nominate a Supreme Court justice not because he didn't want the vote. He actually used the Supreme Court, the potential nominees for the Supreme Court, to help him campaign for the presidency. He didn't nominate anybody because the Senate wasn't in session at that point. Right. They didn't come back until December. At that point, he made his nomination. when it would have been a lame duck situation, and guess what? His guy got in.
Well, Vice President Pence said that you're entitled to your own opinion, but not your own facts.
Yeah.
That was the line of the evening, I thought.
He did well. He did well. Telemundo had a poll on the debate, and they posted last night Mike Pence wins 76% to 24%, and they couldn't stand it. They had to take it down. So they pulled it off today. But CNN had a poll up saying that Mike Pence lost to Kamala Harris, basically the reverse of the Telemundo poll. I looked at that and thought, you got to be kidding me. How in the world can you come across and say that she won that debate? Unbelievable.
It was one of the stations last night I was flipping. I always like to see what everyone's saying, and I can't remember if it was CNN or MSNBC. You might remember if you flipped around. But they had some, quote, undecided voters, and they talked after the debate and just went around the little chairs to see, take a vote of, how they did and who won the debate. And as you could see, it was like kind of neck and neck, and then like the last two said Pence. And you could just see the look on the face of either CNN person or MSNBC was like, okay, we got to go to the next segment.
Speaking of looks, what did you guys think of her dirty looks during the debate? I had trouble watching it.
Yeah,
she didn't do herself any favors.
No.
I felt like that set the tone for her because she was already anticipating something negative.
Well, she wasn't prepared. When you got to depend on your smirky look and your whiny voice and everything else to try to persuade voters, it's not going to work. But the other thing that just blew me away was the fact that her out and out lies.
Yeah, they were bad.
I mean, she came out last night and said, "Oh, we've never said we're going to stop fracking. We've never said that." Play cut 3. This is what she said on CNN about a month ago.
There's no question I'm in favor of banning fracking. So, yeah, and starting with what we can do on day one around public lands, right? And then there has to be legislation. But yes, and this is something I've taken on in California. I have a history of working on this issue. And to your point, we have to just acknowledge that the residual impact of fracking is enormous in terms of the impact on the health and safety of communities. Yeah, so thank you.
And Joe Biden himself, he was at some outdoor town hall and he came up to this girl and said, "Read my lips, no fracking. We're going to stop fracking. There's no fracking." And she comes out, "No, we never said that."
I bet when Biden gets up in the morning and when he's going to his next stop, because his morning's over by 10:30, 11 a.m., and put the lid on, it's what they say. They probably give him a card that says fracking yes today. Tomorrow, fracking no.
The biggest laugh, though, was when she said, they were talking about the economy, and she said, and now they said Joe Biden is the one who during the Great Recession was responsible for the Recovery Act that brought America back. And now the Trump-Pence administration wants to take credit. They're riding the coattails of Joe Biden's success for the economy. I laughed out loud when I heard her say that. I just thought, my goodness, you think the people are stupid. And I guess they really do.
Yeah, that was those old, was it shovel-ready jobs that they kept talking about? Yeah.
Unbelievable.
So much pork.
Hey, we got to take a time out. When we come back, we're going to have that interview with Eric Trump. Stay with us. More news and views coming up.
If your car isn't moving smoothly, it isn't moving safely. At Colony Tire, buy one Falcon brand passenger or light truck tire and get one half off. Colony Tire is a better way to go.
See store for details. No other discounts apply. Offer ends 10/17/20.
Raleigh politicians put big cities first and rural communities last. But Chris Humphrey is one of us. Humphrey helped balance North Carolina's budget so we can combat crises like COVID. Humphrey fought to raise teacher pay and secure millions in COVID relief for small businesses and workers so local families can weather this storm. Chris Humphrey, fighting for us because he's one of us. Humphrey for State House.
I'm Chris Humphrey, and my campaign paid for this ad.
Ever wonder what it would be like to live in a quaint community where people still know your name? Consider Aden. Ideally located between Greenville and Kinston, Ayden is recognized as one of America's best small communities to raise a family. There's a lot going on in Ayden. New and existing single-family neighborhoods perfect for retirees and growing families, award-winning schools and active arts community, and a great recreational program featuring a 50-acre park with a children's splash pad. Find out more at Ayden.com.
For locally grown produce, fresh cuts of meat, and poultry that are perfect for the backyard barbecue, local honey, salsas, baked goods, local artisans, and more, visit the Leroy James Farmers Market in Greenville. Located at 4560 County Home Road, the Leroy James Farmers Market is open Thursday, Friday, and Saturday from 8 until 1. The Leroy James Farmers Market truly has something for everyone. We now accept SNAP EBT benefits. We would like to express our gratitude to this wonderful community for all of your support.
TJ and Jamie Sawyer are pleased to announce the opening of Sawyer's Fun Park in the Greenville area. Sawyer's Fun Park is a beautiful 40,000 square foot facility with laser tag, rock walls, a 2-story ninja course, a 20-foot tall ropes course, a huge arcade, a toddler play area, a restaurant, and a bar for adults. Sawyer's Fun Park and Air U are now one huge facility on Corey Road beside Boyd Lee Park. You won't believe this place when you see it. Your kids can enjoy the trampoline park with basketball, dodgeball, and all of the jumping excitement, and then bounce over to the new phase with rock walls, laser tag, ropes, course, and more. You'll also enjoy state-of-the-art video games and collecting tickets to win great prizes in the arcade. And the restaurant and bar is not just snack food for the kids. You'll be amazed at the menu items, food quality, and atmosphere in the cafe. Go to SawyersFunPark.com for hours of operation and to complete a waiver. Call Sawyer's Fun Park now to book your private party, 252-689-6401.
If your car isn't moving smoothly, it isn't moving safely. At Colony Tire, buy 3 Falcon brand passenger or light truck tires and get a 4th one free. Colony Tire is a better way to go.
See store for details. No other discounts apply. Offer ends 10/17/20.
They still don't have a plan.
When I look at their plan, it looks a little bit like plagiarism, which is something Joe Biden knows a little bit about.
Joe Biden will not raise taxes. Mr. Vice President, I'm speaking.
The important is you said the truth. Joe Biden said twice in the debate last week that he's going to repeal the Trump tax cuts.
The president refused to condemn white supremacists.
He condemned the KKK, neo-Nazis, and white supremacists.
Roll with the station that keeps you up to speed. Talk 96.3 and 103.7. Here's Tom Lamprecht with more news and views.
All right, welcome back in. Tom and Bennie. Bennie, I'm speaking right now. Don't say anything. I'm speaking. Your weather forecast for tonight, mostly clear, around 54 for the low. Tomorrow looks great. Lots of sunshine, high near 73. I love this weather. Tomorrow night, mostly cloudy with a low around 63. Saturday, a slight chance of rain. Basically, you're looking at 20% during the day, 30% Saturday night. Otherwise, not a bad weekend, although there is a little bit more of a chance of rain come Sunday. Highs again in the mid-70s. Weather brought to you by our friends at the Ironwood Golf and Country Club. Celebrate your big event this year at Ironwood Golf and Country Club. We've made over $300,000 in upgrades and improvements, and we're looking better than ever. Our plantation-style clubhouse is the perfect setting to host your wedding, birthday, anniversary, baby reveal party, business meeting, holiday party. Ironwood offers several private party spaces leading out to terraces with beautiful views of the Lee Trevino signature golf course. Make a celebration a great celebration this year, one to remember, one that all your guests will be wowed with, whether it's 150 folks or 15 folks. Do it at one of the most beautiful venues in eastern North Carolina. Contact Taylor Hetzel, banquet manager at Ironwood Golf and Country Club. Her number is 252-752-4653, or email Taylor at foodandbeverage@ironwoodgolf.com. If you've never been to Ironwood, you need to drive out there. I mean, it looks like a southern plantation. It's a gorgeous facility. Earlier today, I had a chance to sit down and talk on the phone to Eric Trump. He is in North Carolina at a couple of events as we speak, but here's that interview from earlier this morning. With us on the phone right now to talk debates, campaign events, is the president's son, Eric Trump, more importantly, the husband of Laura Trump. Eric, we've had Laura on several times. We couldn't get her today, but we thank you for filling in.
Yeah, exactly. How are you doing? It's great. She loves North Carolina. She's from North Carolina. We actually named our daughter North Carolina. We named our daughter Carolina. And
yeah.
We spend just about every holiday down there with you guys. So We love the state, and it's great. It's great to be here today.
Well, you got two events later today. Of course, we're recording this in the morning. At 3:30, you're going to be in Monroe, North Carolina. Then you go over near Burlington at Wetset, North Carolina, at 6:30 tonight.
Yeah, that's right. I'm doing two big rallies today, and we're gonna have a lot of fun. And the enthusiasm of North Carolina, we've obviously spent a lot of time there, both kind of for fun and but also on the campaign trail. And I mean, just the enthusiasm in the state's unbelievable. It's truly unbelievable.
I want to talk debates with you, but first, how's your dad and the First Lady doing?
He's doing really well. He's doing really well. I mean, obviously, he got hit pretty hard on Friday, and like everybody does with COVID. And but honestly, by Saturday, I mean, he called me 3 times on Saturday, and I always joke that he's not, Trump's not exactly the type of guy who likes to eat applesauce in in a hospital bed. That's not his style. He literally on Saturday he was up. He was in a suit. He was sitting at a conference room table, and literally he was working. I mean, he called me up about a bunch of things, but I mean, the guy probably pulled a 14-hour day on Saturday. I mean, he's an absolute warrior, and it's amazing. I mean, he's truly an energizer. He's the Energizer Bunny. I mean, the guy's absolutely remarkable.
Let's talk Mike Pence and debate. Eric, I have to say, I was floored at how far Mike Pence hit it out of the park last night.
Yeah, so was I. He's an incredible man. I've gotten to know him incredibly well. Obviously I did a lot of campaigning with him in 2016, and he's just he's amazing. But I think he did last night. I think he absolutely hit it out of the park. I think universally people see that. And Tom, what you're looking at with this party, I mean, the far left. I mean, this isn't the Democratic Party anymore. I mean, this is really a very, very far left party. I mean, they're attacking faith in this country. They want to get rid of the Second Amendment. They want to socialize medicine. I mean, they literally want to take away 180 million private health care plans. They want to raise taxes by $4 trillion. They want to repeal the tax cuts my father's already put in, which saved, the average American saved $2,500 based on my father's tax cuts. And they want to repeal that, and then on top of that, add another $4 trillion in taxes. Which would, it would tank the markets. I mean, anybody that has a 401k, anybody that has an IRA, I mean, forget about those. If they ever added $4 trillion a year, taxes to this country. And I mean, it's really, it's really amazing. They want to take down the southern wall. You see that, the border wall. My father's built almost 400 miles of border wall. They want to take the thing down, even though we have the lowest illegal immigration that we've ever had as a country. Drugs are being stopped. Kamala Harris last week said that she wants to limit the amount of beef people can eat. I mean, why not just leave people alone? And you see this crusade against law enforcement. They want to quote unquote abolish the police, and then they come out when they realize how unpopular it is among Americans. No, we were just kidding. They don't actually want to abolish the police. And same thing with fracking and oil and gas. We want to get rid of fracking, and then people say, well, I kind of like having $1.90 gas at the pumps.
Exactly. The issue of taxes, the New Green Deal, the fossil fuels, the Second Amendment. Kamala Harris last night was continually shaking her head no, that we're not against fracking, and no, we don't want to raise taxes. And yet there's so much evidence out there. There's videotape just from last week of Joe Biden basically saying the opposite of what she said last night.
Oh, it's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. In fact, as soon as she said that, no, man, I mean, 3 weeks ago, he's saying, I want to totally eliminate fracking. She said that she's going to eliminate fossil fuels on day one. And by the way, make no mistake, she'll be in charge. And then, Biden shows up to Pennsylvania, shows up to Pittsburgh, which has, 400,000 energy jobs.
Right.
And, Mr. Biden, eliminating oil and gas is very popular here in Pennsylvania. No, man, I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. The other guy wants to do that. And 3 days before, he was literally on video several times saying definitively, I want to, I want to get rid of all fracking, all oil and gas. And then she said within 100 days she was going to do an executive order getting rid of all. I mean, you can't make it up. And the media is like, oh, see, they said that they don't want to eliminate. I mean, it's unbelievable how the media carries the water for these people.
Yeah.
And, we have the biggest gas reserves in the world, and we have the lowest energy prices anywhere in the world. I mean, you want to talk about a benefit to this country that, China could only, dream of is having our natural gas reserves and our fuel reserves and everything else, and they want to eliminate that. And then you look at California, where they have rolling blackouts because their solar panels don't make enough, energy, and you have the mayor of LA telling people to unplug their refrigerators because, the temperature that day is going to go above 85 degrees. And I mean, this is this is what the far left the radical left wants.
As I was watching the debate last night, I really thought of the Ronald Reagan line. You're better off than you were 4 years ago, but change it. Do you really want to go back to where we were 6 and 7 years ago?
Yeah, that's right. And everybody always wants to forget that Joe Biden. He obviously wants to increase taxes by $4 trillion, but this is the same man who flew cargo planes full of cash, American taxpayer dollars, and gave it to Iran. He gave $150 billion to Iran, and then he gave $1.8 billion in cash to them, which he flew on cargo planes, U.S. military cargo planes, to a country that chants death to America. This is the person that wants to increase your taxes.
Right.
It's unbelievable. And look at the corruption, and look at the fraud, and look at Hunter Biden. Taking $3.5 million out of China, getting $1.5 billion out of China for his fund. I'm sorry, taking $3.5 million out of from the mayor of Moscow's wife, and taking $1.5 billion out of China, and sitting on Ukrainian energy board companies where he's being paid $183,000 a month. He doesn't know the language. He doesn't speak Ukrainian. He knows nothing about natural gas. And you talk about the corruption of these people. Somebody came up to me the other day, Tom, and they said, imagine if you take your car to a like a service center or an auto repair shop, and they have the car for 47 years, and then you come back and the guy comes to you and just says, hey, I just need another 4 years, and that car's going to be perfect.
Unbelievable. By the way, we're talking to Eric Trump on the phone. He's on his way down to North Carolina for 2 events today. I was watching the debate last night with my kids, and they were texting me back and forth to the debate. They're as conservative as their dad is. I've got 3 daughters. But it was interesting, at one point we were texting back and forth. There's an obvious reason why Kamala Harris didn't do well in the Democrat primaries. I don't want to sound catty, but the woman is just not a likable woman.
She's not, and truthfully, many of the Democrats are like that today. They come across as smug. They come across as arrogant. They come across as unapproachable. Look at Chuck Schumer, and look at Nancy Pelosi, and look at AOC, and look at Kamala Harris. They've never left Washington D.C. Their entire careers have been based in Washington or somewhere else. Look at Kamala Harris. Just as an example, she presided over. She was Attorney General of San Francisco, right? She presided over San Francisco, right? And if you want to talk about a city that has crime problems, if you want to talk about a city that has homeless problems, then you can't walk down the street with your kid without stepping over 3 hypodermic needles in that city. Is this what we want for our nation? They've got the highest taxes anywhere in the world in San Francisco, anywhere in the country in that city. You can't even afford to live there, but yet you've got the worst homelessness, and you've got the worst crime, and you've got the worst drug problems, and then they preach to you about how to fix this country. It's kind of ironic, and it's interesting when you see Joe Biden, who's never worked a day in his life outside of the federal government. He's never signed the front of a check, and he tells you about the problems of this country when the guy's been in office. I'm 37. I'm not the oldest guy in the world. I'm certainly not the youngest. But this guy's been in office 10 years longer than I've been alive, and he wants to talk about how Donald Trump's responsible for the problems of this nation. Yeah. Come on. I don't think Americans buy it.
When you look down the road, when do you think your dad's going to get back onto the campaign trail, and what do you see coming up for the presidential debates?
Oh, I think he's going to be back in the next day or two. I think he's going to be back, back out there. He feels great. I was just speaking to him a little while ago. In fact, he said to say hi to everybody in North Carolina. And the man's remarkable. He's a warrior. He was, again, he's just itching to get back out there. He has to quarantine for a couple days naturally, but the guy is working up a storm, and he's jonesing to get back out on the campaign. He's not exactly let's hide in our basements type guy. This guy,
right?
He's up at 5 o'clock in the morning. He pulls 18-hour days every single day. He's a workaholic. I've admired it my whole life, and it's not just in politics. I've admired it when we worked together for years. He's an absolute workaholic, and believe me, he's jonesing to get back out there. I've never been more proud of a guy in my life. What he's been through this week, and how quickly he bounced out of it, and the way he fought through all of it, and the way he worked every single day, despite feeling like hell, which you do when you get COVID. It's not a fun thing, and but he never took his foot off the gas, and he's really an inspiration.
Yeah, the way he has handled this, and through divine intervention and the prayers of a lot of people, I think, getting the COVID can actually be a positive for. Obviously, we're happy that he's doing well, and we're thinking first and foremost of his health, but secondarily, politically speaking, this could actually be a positive for the campaign.
Well, I'm glad you mentioned divine intervention, because there's no way without somebody looking from above we'd be here today. Hillary in 2016 outraised us by 5x. We didn't know anything about politics, and we went in there and we fought as a family. We fought together as as a family who loves each other a lot, and we spoke from the heart as we're doing right now. And believe me, there's somebody watching down on this whole process. Yeah. Otherwise, I really do believe in the David versus Goliath, and I really do believe that we're going to have, something's happening out there. That much I can tell you. Something's absolutely happening out there, and somebody's watching down over him and all of us. And I really believe that. I'm glad you mentioned that. And it makes me sick to see what the Democrats are trying to do to faith in this country, and it's horrible. Amen. It's horrible.
Well, Eric, I know you got to catch a plane. Have a great trip to North Carolina. Thanks for spending a few minutes with us today, and tell your lovely wife we said hi. We'll look forward to having her on again, and hopefully have you on again in not too distant future.
Can't wait. Look forward to seeing you guys soon.
Okay, thank you. Eric Trump calling in and on his way to North Carolina for two big events.
We're going to take a time out. We come back, we're going to play political trivia. Give us a call. The phone lines are open, 561-8255. Got a prize package worth well over $200. Your category, interesting, notable presidential benchmarks. Okay, long title. We'll play when we get back. Stay with us.
And here's the snap. Crack open a Hampton Farms in-shell peanut, and the game's in your hand. The only peanuts with flavor roasted inside the shell, Hampton Farms are healthy, high protein, and fun to crack open and crunch. In your backyard or on your flat screen, bust open classic game day in-shells with football at home. Find us in the produce section of your local grocery store. With Hampton Farms, every day is opening day. GoEco is the office equipment company that people all over eastern North Carolina are turning to for their office copier and equipment needs. GoEco sells and services Canon copiers and office products. They have a great service team that's quick to respond when you need them. We here at Interbanks Media just made the switch to GoEco, and they're saving us money in printing cost. Other businesses in and around Greenville are making the switch too. Dirk's Chiropractic switched over a year ago and saved money. GoEco bought out their existing lease, and Dirk's Chiropractic received better products fitting their needs. In fact, GoEco has saved local clients who have switched over $178,000. Oh, and some businesses might qualify for no payments until 2021. Call Area Sales Director Tom Watkins at GoEco for a free consultation today. 252-227-0581 or email info@goeconc.com. Save money by switching to GoEco.
Our local police matter. That is why Tony Moore is running for North Carolina House. Tony's opponent, Candy Smith, has had several run-ins with law enforcement and court summons in multiple counties. Police officers filed a lawsuit against Candy Smith, alleging that she was initiating confrontations and interactions with GPD officers to file complaints against them. Our local law enforcement have a difficult job and deserve our support.
I am Tony Moore, and I approve this message.
Paid for by the committee to elect Tony Moore to NC House.
Transworld Business Advisors is the largest and fastest growing business brokerage and M&A firm in the world. And my buddy Tony Corey and his wife Jarma have brought this wonderful company to Greenville and northeastern North Carolina. And Tony, tell us about Transworld Business Advisors.
Thanks, Henry. Basically, our Transworld team here in eastern North Carolina confidentially helps both buyers and sellers with the purchase or sale of a business. This is what we do all day, every day. And what's unique about Transworld is that we have over 150,000 pre-qualified buyers in our database, and these are buyers, Henry, that are ready and in a position to buy a business today. For more information, you can check out our website at www.transworldeast.com, or you can call me personally on my cell phone at 252-347-9606 or transworldeast.com.
Transworld Business Advisors.
All right, welcome back in. Time for some political trivia. Your category, interesting, notable presidential benchmarks. Great prize package includes a free oil change for your car pickup at Dave Davis's East Carolina Chrysler Dodge Jeep or at Washington Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. A gift certificate from Fit for Life, including 2 free training sessions with a fitness coach. A $20 gift card to the Pirates Cove Car Wash, proud partner of the ECU Courtesy Car Program. A $60 diagnostic card from University PC Care for any iPhone or PC repair. A gift card for a free round of golf with Cart at Ironwood Golf and Country Club. A $20 gift card to Mucho Bueno for lunch or dinner. Mucho Bueno, real Mexican street food located in front of the Westbrook Shopping Center, US 70 West in Havelock. And a $20 gift card to Gwendy's Goodies Bakery in Aden. Delicious, baked, fresh, made from scratch goodies. Remember, if you or anyone in your immediate family have won recently, let 60 days pass before you play again. First up, Al from Greenville. Hey, Al.
Oh, I hate being first.
Hey, you're number one. Hey, you're number one.
But I hate being first. But come on, give it to me.
All right, here you go. Interesting, notable presidential benchmarks. Here's a question. John F. Kennedy and Jimmy Carter both set certain benchmarks. These benchmarks would be in the same genre, but they would greatly contrast. What are these benchmarks?
John F. Kennedy and Jimmy Carter had benchmarks. If I hate to ask it one more time.
John F. Kennedy and Jimmy Carter both set certain benchmarks. These benchmarks would be in the same genre, but they greatly contrast. What are these benchmarks?
Well, I'll guess. John F. Kennedy had the best expansion, while Jimmy Carter had the least retraction for the economy.
Great guess. Not it, but that's a great guess.
Okay.
Like it. Give us a call back. Thanks, Al. 561-8255. Let's go to Betty. Hey, Betty.
Hi.
John Kennedy and Jimmy Carter both set certain benchmarks. These benchmarks would be in the same genre, but they would greatly contrast. What are these benchmarks?
Being embarrassed by their brothers?
Well, they didn't contrast too much. I think they were pretty similar. I like
Well, one peed on the airport runway, and the other one drowned a woman.
They both involved alcohol.
Yeah.
That's
not, Billy Beer.
That is not it, but that is better than the real answer. But I mean, kudos to you, buddy. 561-8255. Give us a call back. Let's go to Sarah in Snow Hill. Hi, Sarah.
Hi.
Did you hear the question?
Yes.
What do you think?
Well, does it have to do with anything with religion?
Well, this isn't 20 questions, but I'll give it to you anyway. No, it doesn't.
Okay, I have no clue.
No clue?
No clue.
All right. Thanks, Sarah. 561-8255. Let's go to Edenton. Frank's on the line. Hey, Frank. Frank, you with us? Okay. Apparently, Frank didn't have an answer for us.
The fish are biting.
Let's go to Jimmy. Hey, Jimmy.
Hey, I think I have a clue.
Do you want a clue, or do you think you have a clue?
Well, I think I have a clue, but if you're offering, I'm accepting.
Okay. Here's your first clue. Jimmy Carter took this benchmark from Gerald Ford.
Oh, nuts. That wasn't effective enough. But
what do you think?
Here's my guess. One was effective and the other was absolutely not.
Well, there'd be a lot of people that would argue that you're correct on that, but that's not what we're looking for.
Bingo, bango, bongo.
You got it. Thanks. Appreciate it, Jimmy. 561-8255. That opens up a line. Let's go to Robert. Hey, Robert.
Hey.
Robert, sounds like you're in a wind tunnel.
Oh, I'm driving right now. I heard the question.
Okay, what do you think?
If I remember correctly, John F. Kennedy was the first black and white debate, and I'm guessing Carter was the first colorized debate.
That's a great guess.
Yeah,
that's not it. That's a good guess. That's not it, though. 561-8255. Is it time for another clue? Who we got? Let's go to Paula. Paula, you ready for another clue?
Yes.
Okay. Let me repeat the question. John Kennedy and Jimmy Carter both set certain benchmarks. These benchmarks would be in the same genre, but they greatly contrast. What are these benchmarks? First hint, Jimmy Carter took this benchmark away from Gerald Ford. Second hint, one of these benchmarks would make one smile, while the other benchmark would bring a tear to your eye.
So it was ranking as president. Kennedy was the highest ranking president, and Nixon was the lowest.
That is, Jimmy Carter you're referring to, not Nixon.
I meant Carter.
Yeah, no,
Sorry.
well, that's a good guess. That's not it, though. 561-8255. Who do we got? Chad. Let's go to Chad. Hey, Chad.
Hey, how are you doing today?
I'm doing great. Hope you are. Are you ready for another? Are you ready for another hint?
I've got a good hint.
Okay.
I think I know it.
All right. If you think you know it, go for it.
Okay. It has to do with age.
Okay. Keep going.
Jimmy Carter was the oldest living president who's still alive, actually. And then, Kennedy was the youngest president or ex-president to die.
You got it!
That's it.
Congratulations. That is exactly it. John Kennedy died at the youngest age of any president, 46 years old. Jimmy Carter is the oldest ex-president. He turned 96 1 week ago today, October the 1st.
Good job.
Congratulations. This is Chad, right?
HAD.
All right. Well, hold on the line, Chad. Congratulations. You're smarter than the average guy. Hang in there. Clark's going to get all your information. Got a great bevy of presents. We'll get them out to you. Stay with us. Benny and I'll be right back.
Fabric and Home Furnishings in Arlington Village is Greenville's complete home design center. They have an amazing design team and offer so much more than just fabric. At Fabric and Home Furnishings, they have the area's largest selection of Krypton fabric in stock. You can spill red wine on a white sofa with Krypton fabric and watch it roll right off. The Fabric and Home Furnishings design team will design a sofa for you, help you reupholster your existing sofa, or come to your home and help you with your entire project. Lisa and Dale Pendry at Fabric and Home Furnishings work hard to keep their inventory made in America. They support local craftsmen, employ ECU design students, and they can help turn your Eastern North Carolina home into a showplace. Find them on Facebook at Fabric and Home Furnishings and go see them at the store in Arlington Village. It's time to make your home a masterpiece with the help of Fabric and Home Furnishings. So much more than just a fabric store. It's an interesting time for employers of both large and small businesses. Roebuck Staffing of Greenville and New Bern is open and can help your business no matter where you are in Eastern Carolina. Will Roebuck and his staff are committed to fulfilling your staffing needs in these abnormal times. They can handle your staffing needs for construction, manufacturing, janitorial, and clerical. They also do temporary to permanent and direct hiring. Call Roebuck Staffing at 252-364-8700 or find them online at roebuckstaffing.com.
With rates being historically low, now is the best time to buy or refinance your home. This is Talbot Green with Angel Oak Home Loans. Now is the time to take advantage of the opportunity to buy more home or refinance your current mortgage. The combination of our local team's experience and Angel Oak's wide offerings of products from standard conventional, government, and portfolio loans has something for most financial situations. For more information, call Talbot Green, Joanne Weir, or Wanda Hager at 751-2060.
NMLS 1719250 and 685842. Equal housing lender.
More great news as we slowly try to return to normal from this COVID pandemic. Carolina Vision Care's new Fire Tower Road office has been temporarily closed as a response to the pandemic, but they're glad to say it is now reopened. If you're in need of great eye care, give Carolina Vision Care and Dr. Will Sawyer a call at their Fire Tower office at 252-516-6581. It's a full-service optometry office with eye exams, eye disease evaluations and treatments, all contact lens evaluations and services, and a full-service optical department with all the latest frame brands including Tom Ford, Etnia Barcelona, Gucci, Scott Harris, Ted Baker, Lamb, Oakley, Costa, and many more. Give them a call at 252-516-6581 or stop by. And don't forget the main office of Carolina Vision Care on West Arlington Boulevard near Physicians East, where Dr. Tom, Scott, and Natalie McIntosh provide great eye care at Carolina Vision Care.
We choose truth over facts.
No matter what he says.
I got hairy legs.
No matter what he does.
And I've loved kids jumping on my lap.
Just goes to show you that this election is anything but normal.
If you have a problem figuring out whether you're for me or Trump, and you ain't black, play the radio. Make sure the television,
The countdown to the presidential election continues on Talk 96.3 and 103.7.
Welcome back in. Congratulations to Chad Bold of Winterville. He got our trivia question right. He hit it right on the head. Really, that's a hard one to look up. You don't Google that. So did a little thinking on that one. But John Kennedy died, youngest age, president, 46. Jimmy Carter, the oldest president, 91 last week. We were talking during the break. John Kennedy was born in 1917. And we're talking Prince Philip, the Queen's husband. I'm pretty sure I read this. I think he's 99 this year. Mm-hmm. So a contemporary of John Kennedy's. John Kennedy would have been 101.
Yeah, I've always read about John Kennedy. Obviously assassinated at 46 or whatever.
Right.
That he wouldn't have lived very long because he had like severe health issues.
Yeah, they always presented him as the epitome of good health, but yeah, there was, and if you go back and look at videos of John Kennedy, there were times while he was president that he had to use a cane to get along, and there was oftentimes he was on pain meds and had a back brace, and apparently, when he was, a PT captain, he was, and his boat crashed. I can't remember all the stories. PT 109.
PT 109.
Yeah. And apparently he had some injuries related to that. Interesting story out of the News and Observer. The North Carolina Central University community members and the chancellor there, Johnson Aikenley, was at the Durham City Council meeting Thursday night and talked about the fact that students are scared to death at NC Central University because of all the shooting that's going on. Safety issues are in disarray. And some of the students spoke. One young lady was there and said she had a bullet go through her dorm window. They were pleading for more police protection. The irony of ironies, council members Deidrina Freeman and Mark Anthony Middleton said they would support these requests, keep advocating, keep calling out, get in our faces, send us emails. We hear what you're saying, and we're going to get behind you. The irony is, go Google Durham City Council to defund police. You will find dozens of stories in there about how the Durham City Council is all about defunding the police. This guy Middleton said he wants to put $2.5 million towards creating a universal basic income for the most vulnerable families in Durham in hopes of bringing crime down, and he wants to defund the police. Unbelievable. We got to run. See you tomorrow, everybody. Bye-bye.
This is Representative Keith Kidwell. You knew it wasn't going